People in the place to be. You are now in the midst of a real MC. Put your hands in the air if you real as me. Let me stop. Welcome in everybody to the new moon in Virgo 2024. I'm really excited to get into this full moon. I'm sorry, this new moon. As we're entering off the heels of this Mercury retrograde, as we're slowly stepping into eclipse season, which is happening after this, the big change that we're going to be seeing the most is going to truthfully be within ourselves. And so the main thing when it comes to Virgo season in general is that we really are in this stage of having to cleanse the self. We are finding new ways to activate health and wealth. As a matter of fact, one of the main important things that happen when it comes to all Virgo energy is that there's a really strong impact and relationship to the nervous system itself, right? So if you felt as Virgo season came on, you're feeling a little angsty, you might be a little bit like, oh, like I think I want this thing, or I'm not sure about something. Trust me, this is part of Virgo season, making sure that you start to step in and tap into exactly what it is that you resonate to. And how do you move once you start resonating with the things that you do? So I wanted to welcome everybody in. Again, this is going to be for the new moon in Virgo, making sure to light a little bit of something for everybody as I hit sparks on my hand. But that's what happens when you are a fire sign, I guess. But just so happy to have y'all here today. I wanted to do this a little bit beforehand. And just to be really transparent, I'm in a really big transformation cycle. I want to say, like, with myself, with my work, with my value, how I perceive my value. I've had so many instances over the course of these last few weeks that had to really make me decide in a lot of cases, like, where my value was or what did I find valuable about myself in my work. And it's a very uncomfortable feeling. Like, don't think that just because I'm coming up here and giving y'all the spiel about how these planets are moving or how these transits are happening, that I'm exempt from also experiencing them. But I do my best to really honor the energies that are at hand. And so I want to kind of give y'all some more brief because I know a lot of y'all have been watching all my stuff, but in case you're new here, Chad the Maverick, make sure that you end up booking a service or a reading with me. I ended up just revamping those. And if you are watching this right now and it is before September 2nd, make sure that you sign up for the mini reading that I have. I'm not doing them live today. I want to be transparent. I'm very tired and I wanted to transition into making sure they're recorded for y'all. So you have something that's directly to you. And I want to separate my going live and my space of reading for people directly, just so y'all know. So basically, it's still the same type of setup, but we're not doing it directly at the end of the live stream. I'm going to be sending it directly to you before the height of the new moon to give you that perspective and get you a direct capsule of what that's supposed to look like. So I hope that y'all understand where I'm coming from with that. I know a lot of y'all do enjoy when I get to read for everybody, but I want to honor that time frame in this process. So let's talk a little bit more about Virgo, right? Virgo is the realist, is the practical. Virgo is the one that's going to make sure that you follow the contract at hand. Virgo is the one that's going to make sure that you understand the nuances between things. Virgo is going to be the one who's going to be pushing you towards your health, your greatness. What do you have to do to step into these different phases so you can actually become what you're meant to be? Virgo has a double edge to it, however, to where Virgo is excellent. Anyone that has Virgo energy, you are excellent at fixing anything outside of you. The real problem that sometimes can happen when it comes to Virgo placements is that because they're so good at doing everything outside of them, sometimes it gets very difficult for them to put in that same work internally or intrinsically. And this isn't to their fault, but to really take that time to harness that true sit down, that true, like, breaking out all those steps. It takes a lot of energy out of anybody, it's including them. And so one thing when it does come to this Virgo season, and I actually saw my mentor, Deborah Silverman, she posted her email a little bit ago. I only got to see the header of that so far, but she was saying that, like, don't be, too mean to yourself during this new moon in Virgo. And I wanted to break this down for y'all in my own way, just because, like, there is this tendency with this new moon in Virgo to start to hyper analyze yourself in a way where it's not even being productive. You're just being critical of yourself, or you're being very critical of others. And this isn't something that's bad, but this is something to be mindful of, because you can be sitting there being like, why am I not good enough? Why couldn't I do this thing? I thought I was supposed to do this thing. It was supposed to work out this way. What was going on with that? And that type of inner dialogue during this time, and I'm just telling you this so y'all know, that can start to reach a different height if you're not being careful. This whole idea behind this new moon in Virgo, if I'm being transparent, you need to change the language behind you talk, the way you talk about yourself, your health, and your wealth. When it gets to this new moon in Virgo, you have to remember Virgo is also mercurial. So the things that you are saying, things you are proclaiming, the things that you are choosing to do, the things that you are willing to embody is what this new moon in Virgo is going to be sending forward into this universe. And now I want to let y'all know this again. Like, I know, I'm going to be honest with y'all. We're also about to head into eclipse season, right? For y'all who have never experienced an eclipse season, or with me or in that conversation, I highly recommend that you check out either some of my old eclipse videos so you can check that out and just get a little gist of like what happens. And we're going to be entering a similar cycle, but we're going to be entering it a little differently, which I'll explain in just a second. The second part is that if you don't know what I'm talking about, when I talk about the North Node or the South Node or eclipses or anything of that in general, make sure that you go check out my North Node Masterclass. That's actually, I think, my most successful video here on YouTube so far. And also I have a $7 North Node ebook guide. So if you want to just like learn about the nodes and how destiny shifts, not just in the collective, but within you, I highly recommend that you check that out. But the main thing when it comes to this new moon before this eclipse season that we start to head into is that during this new moon, we are almost like getting prepared for a change that we're not able to see yet. One thing about eclipse seasons and when destiny starts to intervene is that we get into very different scenarios than sometimes what our egos anticipated, right? And so what happens is we're going into this new moon in Virgo. We are planting the seeds on how are we going to treat ourselves better. That's the best way to put this new moon in Virgo. What things are you doing in your world to make your life a little bit better? Are you taking the supplements you're supposed to take? Are you making sure that you drink enough water? Are you making sure that you get enough exercise? Are you making sure that you're watching the in-betweens of things, or are you just letting things slide by? These are the kind of situations that Virgo starts to highlight. And the more that you're willing to step into those things as they come up, not before, not after, as they come up, the more that you're willing to take that time and really deliver on that part, that's what's going to be making a difference to this whole new moon energy for you. Again, eclipse season coming soon to a theater near you. But the reason why that's important is because I believe it's around the 17th. If I'm going off the top of my head, I think it's September 17th is where we're getting to the lunar eclipse in Pisces. Now you might be thinking, hey, yo, Maverick, I thought that the nodes were in Libra and Aries. You're right. But here's the thing. Right now, when it gets to this eclipse, that next full moon that we're having, so make sure that you stay tuned. I don't know if I'm going live for that or if I'm doing the actual class for eclipses that is more closed off. Drop down what you think in the comments. Would you want to attend something like that? It'd probably be the same price as a mini reading, but I get to go off a lot more. So just let me know if y'all interested. Drop that below. But the idea too is that like getting into this capacity, we're getting a sneak peek this upcoming eclipse into what is the nodes going to look like when they're in Pisces and Virgo respectively. If you didn't know, the North Node is one of the only parts of astrology that travels backwards basically all the time. There's like very few moments where it doesn't, but it's always going backwards. So like destiny's going backwards while we move forward. It's an interesting dichotomy. But the way that I want to explain this is that we're seeing the highlights of what's going to be coming up in this 2025. And as a matter of fact, I think this upcoming lunar eclipse is going to have us release the things that were happening prior to this year, prior to these energies that are going on, and having us really revamp, dig in, check out, check ourselves, which is the most important part to all of this. I really want to point this out. Checking yourself, right? One thing that I pride myself on when it comes to a lot of situations is that I definitely make sure that I check myself before I like go about anything too crazy or try to make something that's like, I try not to be too preemptive with a lot of things. I really take the time out the best I can, especially as a triple fire sign, the best I can to like genuinely give it a second. Let's see how this unfolds. Is this thing happening the way it is? Oh, that's an interesting part. Like, but what I'm trying to say with this Virgo season, this new moon in Virgo, do you see how I'm kind of just like moving my hand in like steps and stages? What are your steps and stages, right? What do you need to calm your own nervous system down? Because this is the thing that happens during this Virgo part, right? Also, sidebar, if you start getting some stomach ache type deal, if you're feeling like something like wrong in your gut for no reason, and you're like, oh, like, why am I feeling these feelings? Just to let you know, Virgo also rules the gut. But why is that important? Because Virgo also intrinsically then rules gut feelings. And so when it comes to this new moon in Virgo, you're learning that thing that you're made of in your gut. When it gets to that lunar eclipse in Pisces, you're going to be learning how to activate and maneuver through your gut feelings based on how the universe wants you to start to find your emotional center. Because one thing that we really fail to talk about is how, as people, even from year to year, to time, we are constantly evolving. We are constantly finding a new space. We are constantly becoming either better people or more refined people. Or sometimes those are those people who aren't doing great. And they become a worse person because they're choosing to, because it's their choice. And the idea of this world that we live in is that everything has to do with your choice. You are the master of your reality. The new moon in Virgo is trying to show you you are the master of the reality. You are the architect of your life. You are the one who's actually putting those intentions out into the universe, and that universe is responding back. It's a call and response. And so, how do we take the responsibility of having this relationship to abundance? How do we take the responsibility of having this relationship to the greater picture, even when we live in our mundane worlds or do mundane things, right? Some people, you start cleaning something, and for a lot of people, that's like a spiritual experience, right? A lot of earth sign people, water sign people, especially, you might be like, yo, this thing's messy. Y'all go ahead and clean it, and you're like, oh, I feel better, right? I feel like I can relax now. Cool. Now, the new moon of Virgo, why is this important? You need to find your zen. Life is going to keep being crazy. Life is going to keep tripping out. They're going to keep bugging out in terms of this upcoming election season. Pluto's going back into Capricorn in a day or two. Like, there's a lot of change that's going to be really trying to get us kind of out of the character that we started to build ourselves over this course of time. And so when we have this call and response back to an old destiny that no longer fits us, to a new future that we know that we have been building this entire time, do not fall back on what you think you used to know. Because it's through this grace of this new moon in Virgo that's like, yo, set forward the steps that you want, right? Build up what you want to do in this process. And then by the time we get into this eclipse season, as long as you're honoring your heart, your emotions, your feelings, your core, your center, that gift that you have that nobody else has, that's when life starts to move in a direction that you want to. And you don't have to be hyper analytical about it. You don't have to try to control it. As a matter of fact, the more you try to control the growth, the less it's going to want to do something. Imagine all the times that you were growing up and you were talking to, let's say, one of your parents or a caregiver of some sort, and you're about to like, okay, I'm about to go grab my backpack and put on my shoes. And then they go and they snip or they snipe at you like, go put your backpack on and put on your shoes. All of a sudden you're like, yo, I was about to do that anyway. I was going to just do this. Like, now I don't want to. There becomes this resentment. And so when I'm talking about this new moon in Virgo, again, we're going to be seeing clearly all of our flaws. I want to say this one more time. We're going to be seeing clearly all of our flaws. But this is where the chosen, I would almost say, get to stand in their own power, right? Or if you feel that, or if I said that and you just felt something from that, that's including you. Because you, again, architect, you can build it. You're planting the seeds. This eclipse season is going to make that change, starting with that lunar eclipse in Pisces. And then we're going to have the solar eclipse in Libra, where we're really going to be melting through our egos and finding divine partnership with one another based on the things that we are trying to cultivate now. So, what do you need to put back into your routine? What do you need to do to get better at what you're aiming for? For me, I'm gonna be transparent with y'all just to kind of give you an example. Last year on the new moon in Virgo, I have a video up about it and everything. It was the first time I had just got this camera. I had just been like, yo, I'm taking this full time. I had nothing in my pocket to do it. I just financed the thing. I asked for a few favors as if I could, and I was just like, screw it. From the bottom up, I'm going to make this happen. And so from last year at the new moon in Virgo, my intention, and I'm just being a little transparent, my intention with y'all was like, yo, I want to learn how to use this visual stuff, this imagery. I have a real passion for quality. I have a passion for like studio stuff. It's just part of who I am, right? I was like, my biggest gripe that has occurred in the work that I do, as well as some of my peers, is that we have such great ideas and information, and we're really trying to do our best to raise the collective up to the highest sphere that it can go and continue to push the envelope. But people don't like listening to things that aren't pretty. People don't like listening to things that don't sound good. People don't like investing their time into something that they don't think someone else spent that amount of time in. And so even with my work over the course of this year, I have done a bunch of different photo shoots with people as far as just like getting myself right. I've done a bunch of like video work for different social media companies. I'm having conversations with some people right now in terms of that. But like, I have to let you know that that wasn't there last year. None of this was there last year. This was all work. You know what I'm saying? And so the reason why I'm trying to tell you with this new moon of Virgo, last year, the new moon of Virgo, I was like, I want to make sure this is going on. For the first, I was nervous about my YouTube. I went to check the analytics yesterday, or I got an email yesterday, actually. And they were like, yo, since you started YouTube, you posted like 400 videos and you've done X, Y, and Z. And I was like, oh, shoot, like, I really have been doing the work required. And so the concept of everything is that with this new moon in Virgo, when your soul tells you the work that's required to do and you do it, mamma mia, you're in a different area of your world. And I'm being dramatic about this on purpose because last year I didn't have any idea how any of this was going to occur. Within that time of just consistency, because that's what Virgo strives on, consistency. It doesn't mean that you have to do everything day by day by day, but are you still doing as much as you can within a week? Are you doing as much as you can within a day? Are you allowing yourself the rest in that process too? There's so many different things. Why? Because Virgo is just about your health, your personal health. And this is what this new moon of Virgo is trying to show people. How do you get to your own pace? I just saw someone say the word pace, but like, how do you get to your own pace? How do you live life deliciously in a way where you're not trying to burn yourself out? Part of the reason why even I was like, yo, to be honest, I'm not trying to pull the cards at the end of this thing anymore for everybody afterward, just because I know I start to lose steam then. And I don't want to like give y'all less of a reading or less of anything else in that process. So what do? Change the system. The new moon in Virgo is going to show you where you need to change your systems in your world, right? I decided last year on the new moon in Virgo, I was going to make sure that I can do something like this without any issue, without any like backlag, or like I'm a really technical person. I run into BS all the time for this stuff, right? But the main lesson here and the main thing that I want to get forward to you is that this is a lesson of perseverance. This is a lesson of if you put the energy out into something, like you literally can make it change. The more that you know your chart, the more that you know your energy, and the more that you pay attention to the signs that I know that you see, you wouldn't be watching me at all if you weren't about this. Like, I need to emphasize this, right? Of course, I have like 20K something followers on IG. I love y'all. That's dope. But a lot of people there aren't here for the real information. Y'all are, right? They're here for the funny memes. And then they eventually come along. Then they get a reading from me. Then their lives change. That's just how it go. But the idea is, what's your process? What is important to you? What do you want to really invest yourself into? Because this new moon in Virgo is going to reveal to you the details on how to get that done. And that eclipse season is going to push you out there so you can actually do it. This isn't a matter of like, can I, can't I? Why am I talking about this? Why am I feeling a little more heavy than normal? Pluto's going back into Capricorn. Pluto's going back into Capricorn on September 1st, literally tomorrow. When Pluto goes back into Capricorn, I'm telling you this right now, and that's because I love y'all. People are going to try to trick you out of everything you've worked on being since March of this year. Sorry, January of this year. So if you've been building yourself up a type of way this 2024, I just want to let you know and be transparent. There are going to be people who are going to try to take you out the character that you've been building for yourself. And they're going to be trying it. You're going to have to be sitting there a few times like, man, like I used to have to turn up on people like this, right? But the idea with this is, how do you, again, find that peace? Part of this new moon of Virgo is trying to remind you, you're the master of your nervous system. And once you master your nervous system, you get to really fall in love with the magic. When you start to fall in love with the magic, you start to see the patterns. When you see the patterns, well, you're here, right? So the idea of this is that when we do get into this new moon in Virgo, make sure that you genuinely write down your intentions. I know I don't always do traditional rituals like a lot of other astrologers. I don't do a lot of rituals like traditional people who do this on the internet or in life in general. That's because I'm unconventional. I'm the maverick. What you want from me? No, but honestly, the reason why that's like important is because like for this new moon of Virgo, I kind of suggest y'all to go classic with it. You get what I'm saying? Like, write out your intention, write out what you're manifesting, write out what you want to bring into your life, right? I did this last year. From last year, me not knowing what to do, into this year, I went all in. I'm now a YouTube partner. I'm watching this. I'm sure y'all got to add at some point. My bad. But the idea is like, this is the difference that it can be made when you utilize astrology the way it's meant to be versus when you let astrology just happen to you all the time without knowing what's going on. So I hope that this is giving y'all a little bit more context into everything. I'm about to check out the comments in a second, but I did want to go off about this new moon in Virgo. So thank y'all for pulling through. As a side note, I will be posting more actual video content. I'm forcing myself to really just like, even if it's just this setup, I'm trying to force myself to really like get out of my comfort zone in terms of maybe consistency. I've been realizing in my own world, and it's a very Virgoian thought, I have been relying on other places to kind of give me the value I was looking for, right? I was just previously working for a company not too long ago. I'm sure you saw me post about it. And in terms of that, I was just waiting for, I think, something to like let me use my potential. I was waiting for somebody to see like, oh, I'm really willing to take this thing from like absolute zero to 100,000 million. And I was so ready to do that for somebody else or for something else that wasn't ready or willing to invest that same amount of love or care back into me. And so what does that mean? What did I do? I went to go ask for help. I called up my astrologer homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, I called up my astrologer homie. I got a reading with them. And because I know that our energies are similar, it gave me like a different perspective on some things that maybe I did know. But that's kind of the gift, I would say, in terms of like when you do trust and believe in self, like the universe starts to really show you and bring through the things that you need. So don't trip about you missing a sign. There's no sign that you ever miss if you follow in your heart and trust in what you see. Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna read the comments. All right, cool. Oh man, I can't see everybody's yet. Okay, now I can. Hi, someone was late. How could you? No, fine, you're good. Feel like I'm hella in my head because that's what the new moon in Virgo is doing. I'm looking at the comment section right now too. So if you have a question, make sure you drop it as I go through. But Yeah, you feel like you're mad in your head because the new moon in Virgo and this Virgo energy is like, I need to fix me. It's like, where do you start? I don't know. Like that's kind of the unfortunate side effect to part of this is that it's like people are like, oh, I need to change something. I need to move something. Something needs to change. Something has to give. But that's kind of the dichotomy there, right? So again, this is about how can you slow that down, right? I really honestly recommend meditation. If I ever really get into meditation the way I want to, I'll do a meditation challenge thing. I think it's the only way to honestly get me to do it is if I'm like, hey everybody, let's do this. And I'm like, well, if I'm leading this, I have to like actually do it. So I might do something like that soon. Stay tuned. But actually, let me change this. Ooh. Okay, cool. It was bothering me. Anyway, so to move this forward just a little bit more. Again, looking through. I hope everyone has an opportunity to feel gratitude and a moment of joy today. Thank you, Anne. That's mad true. Like that's sometimes it's also simple. You can't make a plant grow. All you got to do is provide its proper nutrients and resources. It grows at its own pace. Live, you not lying. Facts. Um, yeah, facts. I will not give away my power, and you shouldn't, especially not during Virgo season. Um, new subscriber. What's up, Violet? Appreciate you for pulling through. Appreciate the new subscribers. Um, yeah, this is a good time. It's a good time. I appreciate this. I love that we're growing and expanding as a community, and I get to keep meeting dope creatives. And the more people I meet, the more I get to introduce to y'all. And it's just like a really cool vibe. You know what I'm saying? I would be remiss though. I am about to do this, and I'm letting you know this right now. I'm back to being full time in terms of like just doing this, so to speak. And by just doing this, I mean changing the entire collective's hearts and minds by reading their chart and showing them the power that they've always had inside and allowing them to really completely transform themselves over the course of the next few months if they so choose to use the information that's given. But if you're interested in something like that, come through and get a reading, dog. As a matter of fact, I have many readings right now, even for the new moon in Virgo. If y'all just joining, I'm not reading those same readings today. I'm going to be doing those tomorrow. So honestly, even if you can't get it today for some other reason, tomorrow that queue will still be open and I will be pulling all of those on the new moon in Virgo for you specifically and sending it directly to you basically as soon as I get up that morning. So the close off for that is going to be the close off. No, but the close off of that is going to be more so it's going to be on the 2nd, just to give you all that context. But yeah, sounds good. Someone said Paul Brown is an excellent meditation teacher. He does I can't pronounce that word right now. Meditation and learn from the Mashirashi. I'm going to look that up. Ooh, they taught them Beatles. I'm going to look it up. Paul Brown, good meditator. Thank you for sharing that, Lulu. Good luck. Okay. This one feels personal. It's all personal. All right. It's not personal at all. But let's actually look at the astrology real quick. That's what we're supposed to do. I am an astrologer after all. So make sure that unfortunately, you cannot see my face for a brief moment, but hey, that's okay. So hopefully y'all can still hear me. I think y'all can. Good. If not, too bad. All right. So for this, we have the sun and the moon both in Virgo. So we're looking at this, but it's like, what else is happening here? Well, the main portion to this new moon that's happening is going to be Saturn opposite Pisces. Saturn retrograde in Pisces is opposite this new moon in Virgo. That's why I wanted to kind of tell you about the differential of like the hardship and the dedication, where it's also like your dreams are still going to be coming true. Your reality is still being formed. You're still making all those things happen. Like there's no part that's not having you still do that, but these are the impacts and the effects in that process as well, just to give you that context. Okay. I think I talked a lot about this thus far. I'm feeling pretty good about it. It's stupidly hot in here. I'm honestly, just to be super transparent, I'm not even feeling super well today. So you're kind of getting me in my like actual real form. This is how I operate and exist in regular life. But usually I try to get like cutened up or something, but not today, dog. But then again, it is what it is, right? So just get a wee smidget of this on here. I'm going to go through the signs, and I'm still going to pull for the signs. I'm still going to pull for the zodiac, but please make sure that you sign up for the mini reading. Sign up for an actual reading. I also just included tarot as part of my services. So there's an astro tarot reading that just got included. A lot of y'all were asking me like, oh, do you read tarot outside of the mini readings? And I'm like, I do. But now I wanted to get something together that had a lot to do with where I'm at now, as well as making sure that y'all get exactly kind of what you're looking for in that process. And I think I found that middle ground. So make sure that y'all check through. I don't remember if I dropped the promo sale price for that, but I'll drop one after this live stream at least. So it'll go down a little bit to make it affordable for anybody who wants to check it out, because that is something I'm excited to introduce. And yeah, when you say people, okay, Shafali asked a great question. When you say people are coming to take you off course, does that mean the state itself versus being social? That's a great question. It does not mean the state itself. It does not mean to don't be social. It's to be able to stand up and, as we say where I'm from, tee up and be like, yo, that's not finna fly. Because I feel like, and this is in my own world true, a lot of people been really forgetting who people are in general. Like, it's been something I've been seeing. It's like, especially since after everyone got back outside after the shutdown and stuff, people really been acting so funny about a lot of things. And what I'm trying to say is that those hidden haters, those secret, like, oh, I'm trying to whatever, all of those people are going to expose themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're all going to expose themselves, right? So with that being said, I appreciate you, Tab. But like, with that being said, though, it's not about you not allowing yourself to experience, but it's about why you're experiencing to stay in your power, right? To put in example, for me in one of my instances, it took me a long time to start to just tell people I was an astrologer. Not because I was ever embarrassed of it, not because I didn't think I was good, but I was like, it's just mad annoying to meet somebody. It's like, and I'm low-key kind of like too cute to do that, because I just be like, yeah, like I'm an astrologer. And then someone else is like, oh my God, can you guess my sign? And sometimes that's fun. And sometimes I'm like, yo, like, I don't want to do this today. I'm gonna be honest. I'm just like, I'm good, right? And sometimes it's like, I don't want to just talk about astrology unless I'm talking to my people about it, or like I'm in something where I'm trying to teach and help promote, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, when I did start saying I was an astrologer, I don't say it with hesitation no more. Like, I literally meet people. I got to meet a priest tomorrow. He'll be like, what you doing? I'm an astrologer. And he'll say something to me and I'll be like, what's the church without us? And then he'd be pretty upset. But the idea is, right, is that this is the conversation in that process. Yes, that was a very sad moment of me, but I do mean it. Anyway, this is for everyone in the chat. You could be wearing your robe, hair all rat nest like, but if your energy is fire, you looking great always. You know the vibe. Nah, but nah, for real, appreciate the love here. And I appreciate y'all for always like showing up and showing out, especially on days where I'm like, I'm not even feeling it, but y'all are still here rocking with me. Love that. So let's make sure that I start to knock out these mini readings and these the readings right now. And if y'all do want a reading, I have the queue already up. Had a couple people already come through on that, and I'll be sending y'all all of those things on Monday. So you know exactly what to kind of do to prepare for not just this new moon, but also this upcoming eclipse season. So I'm going to go through right now and just pin that into the live chat for y'all. I totally could have just done it here, but apparently I like to do things the difficult way because it's a better payoff, I guess. I don't know. Okay, so I'm about to not screenshot. What is wrong with me? Anyway, I hope y'all are having a good day. As you can see, your boy is tired, but that's all right. Okay, boom, boom. And here you go. So for anybody who does want to get a mini reading for the new moon in Virgo, period, this is your best route to do it. And I'm doing it separately from everything. So I'm focused directly on you as I read. Okay. Whew. As a matter of fact, hope y'all don't mind if I take a second. I'm gonna go take a just stretch for a second, all that good stuff. And while I'm gone, I leave you with a song that I actually made, and I'll be right back. So appreciate y'all. One second. And we back, and we back, and we back, and we back. Better than I was the last time. Anyway, so let's start to get into these cards though. All right. So we're going to be pulling these cards right now for the new moon in Virgo. What do we all need to know as we step into this new moon in Virgo? How can we utilize this new moon in Virgo to help bring us to better health, understanding, knowing, acknowledgement, and confidence within ourselves to be able to execute on the deeper and deepest ideas, feelings, and thoughts that we truly have? How can we take this new moon in Virgo and operate in a space of growth that allows us to really feel through these in-between notions, understanding ourselves, diving deeper into our health, and then tapping into the next part of what we need in our lives? And how can we surrender into this new moon in Virgo in a way that will bring us to a better spot within our hearts and within our actions, knowing that every moment that we actually make is a moment of magic and nothing is mundane. So we have the Page of Wands. I really like that I got this card right now. So we have the Page of Wands, and at the bottom of the deck, we have the Judgment card. So the idea behind this Page of Wands, this Judgment card, we're being called to really put in the first inklings and steps of what we desire. What do we desire? How are we going to be allowing ourselves to push out that creativity in that process? How do we make sure that we make the most out of our energy? By simply putting your first foot forward. This new moon of Virgo is going to separate the people who are willing to take that action, and for the people who just like to collect on words or titles or stupid stuff like that. Are you about this or not? Because the Judgment card on the bottom of this is like, yo, you want to step into all that glory that you've been thinking about? Well, now this is your time to step into it. So what you gonna do? This is where that starts to come through. I think people here are really about trying to change their world. So I don't think any of this is happening. But just know not everybody is on this timing and take this. And I know I'm one of those people where I love people. I love the people in my world. I love people like that. You can't take everybody with you into your success. And I hate saying that, but it's true. Not everyone's built like you. Not everyone understands where you're coming from. This Page of Wands is like, even if I have to do this all myself, I don't know how, but I'm going to make it work. And by just taking that approach, for anybody watching this on this new moon in Virgo, you're going to be really sliding into this eclipse season in a way that is favorable to not just you, but also to your higher self, etc. Right? Okay. Thank you, Shafali. This is why I've been trying to take my time more, because I've been like, sometimes I'll be tripping. And I'm like, let me actually dig in for a second. So thank you for the acknowledgement. And thank you for the people who said that you like the song as well. I never put it out. I have a lot of music I just haven't put out. I just want to make stuff that's more aligned to where I'm at now. Thank you for whoever just purchased a mini reading. I see it from over there, but thank you in that process. Okay. So I'm about to pull this right now. We're going to start off with the earth signs, and we're starting off with Virgo. Let's start off with Virgo, see what we get in this process. Virgo, we got the 9 of Cups, but at the bottom of the deck, Virgo, we have the Death card. So I want to point this out to y'all. Virgo, y'all have been experiencing this really deep-seated metamorphosis where you have to look at yourself and how you actually view your abundance. Are you truly being abundant if everyone else around you gets hurt in order to do so? If everyone else around you is not in a good space, but you're the one collecting everything and there's no help to be given, do you truly feel satisfied? Because the idea behind this, Virgo, is like, y'all know how to help properly. Y'all know how to assist people. Y'all know how to like really make sure that people feel seen, or the details and the in-betweens that other people might not notice. But what's happening is Now that you're kind of coming more into your own prowess, now that you're coming more into this new sense of abundance or your wishes coming true, are you making sure that you're thanking the people that help get you there? Are you making sure that you're like continuing the energy forward as you step into your abundance, or are you just taking it all for yourself? Because despite what any Virgo says, they do want to be able to spread the wealth. But I don't think that that's coming to y'all naturally right now, which is part of why the death card portion is coming in. This is a very much this new moon of Virgo, to be so honest with y'all are going to be remembering why you were given those analytical capabilities in the first place. And I think that's going to be putting y'all on your head to a very different space. I think Virgo, y'all been experiencing a lot due to Saturn and Pisces, due to like Neptune and Pisces. So like, this isn't even y'all fault, but I think this is what's going to be getting y'all geared back together to that reality that you know, that allows you to be seen, heard, and respected in the first place. So in the Virgo, this is a real new step for you, but just know the things that you want are coming true, but how are they coming true is the better question. All right, so now we got Taurus, right? Okay, so for Taurus, you got the same thing as Virgo. So your dreams are coming true. But this is a different type of abundance than what I just pulled for Virgo. Whereas Virgo has to go through this spiritual and emotional metamorphosis to get to this next part of things. You're getting into the Knight of Pentacles, right? You're getting into the Knight of Pentacles right now. My bad, y'all. But what does that mean? Well, the Knight of Pentacles is like, I'm not really worried about when I'm getting to my destination as long as I get there, right? So the Knight of Wands might show up late to the party. He might show up as the last person to the ball or the banquet or whatever, right? But he's going to be leaving with one of the prettiest ladies. He's going to be bringing the best party favors that are there in the process. He's going to be making sure that he does something to leave his mark, but he's at his own pace. Taurus, you need to get to what you describe as your own pace. I know there's the whole thing. Y'all don't like being rushed. Do not let nobody rush you during this new moon of Virgo, Taurus. You're cooking up something. Your abundance is ready to go around to whoever actually needs it. But this is the part to that. This is the change that ends up going on in that capacity. So I hope that that helps and gives y'all some context, Taurus. But your dreams are coming true. You're about to step into some big money as well. But put in the work into your money ventures that you know are going to have a better payoff, even if you're nervous about them. It's going to be really making a difference with everything. And for Capricorn, we have the King of Wands. So Capricorn, I want to say this like this, right? This King of Wands portion, you're taking some credence from your fire sign friends. And the reason why is because it's like, I think y'all have finally built yourself to knowing the royalty that you are, but this is your time to finally have a little bit of fun with it. So I know there's always duty and responsibility, and I have to this and I have to that. That's just what goes along with being a Capricorn. But Cap, y'all are using the logic of your mind to really start to make magic happen. And so the concept of you making this magic happen, the concept of you making these different, I almost want to say spells within your word, to where it's like, even like Capricorn, I want to put it like this. Even you doing the things that you're doing consistently right now is a magical act, right? And on top of that, you're getting a flair to how you're going about what people are already recognizing you for. So you're not just being there like, oh, like, you know, like, oh, like, how am I trying to put it? You're basically really stepping into your power, Capricorn. Like, you're really like letting yourself be yourself without censoring yourself. And that's actually making more magical moments in that process. So congratulations, Cap. This new moon is going to be good for you. Okay. So that's for the earth signs. Thank y'all for holding that for me. Let's keep going. So we're going to get into water now. We're going to start off with Pisces, since it's going to be the opposite of this new moon of Virgo. And we'll go from there. So for Pisces, nostalgia is calling your name. Nostalgia is calling your name. The Magician is also on the bottom of your deck. So I think what's happening with y'all Pisces is that, truthfully, y'all are getting into this different position to where it's like, what used to seem like childish is now becoming a part of your dream, right? I'm actually thinking of this one Pisces that I know, who's a friend of mine. She's basically like in love with like old Hollywood. It has like a really strange obsession with Paul Newman, but she reminds me very much of like that type of Pisces. And the reason why I'm even bringing this up is because it's like no matter how much, she's pretty popular, so sometimes she has some douche older dudes try to like bug her about stuff, but she has this really good way to like still claim what she likes no matter what, that I really do admire about them as a person. But it's like no matter how seemingly cringe or how much other people won't agree, they will still always stick up for what they end up enjoying. So I think that's one of the lessons that I want to kind of tell you, Pisces, that like despite whatever people are saying, you still have to stick up to what you're enjoying. Yeah, you got placements in Pisces, you got to stick up to what you enjoy. Maybe you like watching Winnie the Pooh and you grown. Then you just gonna watch Winnie the Pooh and you grown. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of thing that is coming through for Pisces. And the more that you're following Pisces, there's going to be something that gets revealed there. It's going to let you lean into the magic of more of what you want to do. Hope that helps. Okay. Cool. I'm going to go to Cancer next. Let's go. So for Cancer, we have the Sun card for you. And similarly to what I just pulled, we have the Six of Cups for you as well. Cancer, ironically, I think you're getting the shine that you were supposed to during your season. Now, don't know why that's coming through, but that's what I'm getting from this. Is that like right now is like actually the time where you're stepping into the next portion of things. Right now is actually the time where you're stepping into the real section of like what that looks like, right? So the idea with this, right, as we get to this other part with the Six of Cups, again, this is a nostalgia based thing. Water, y'all are the masters of nostalgia. Y'all be like, oh, remember that time when I had a bubblegum pop? It was when I was in 5th grade. It's like, why y'all remember that? But it's through these memories, specifically with memories of like, honestly, smell. I don't know why that came through. Maybe y'all are into like some more perfumey things recently, but there's this like thing that's like bringing y'all to a different time frame and still being able to blend that into now. I think y'all are really just stepping into a different phase of your life that doesn't look like what it used to before. And so with you getting this Sun card, I think this is you just like really deciding what you want that to look like, which is amazing. Good for y'all. I hope y'all are taking that up to the best of your ability. They are the masters of nostalgia. That's a fact, bro. I'm just laughing in my head because I'm like, I feel like there's a couple of Cancers I know. I feel like if I was like, hey, remember like something else, it'd be like, that was the most important thing that's ever happened. I'm like, it really wasn't. But I appreciate the holding on to that nostalgia. Like it means that much because it's old, it's that kind of thing. A vintage memory, if you will. Pay way more from it at the thrift shop. Okay, getting back to my actual ish. Let's get it. All right. So for Scorpio, let's see what we got for Scorpio. And then I'm going to take a quick second again just to recoup. All right. I ain't even look at it yet. But okay, Scorpio, we got the Star card. We got the Star card. But at what cost? What did y'all do to get there? Scorpio, who did y'all screw over? Scorpio. It looks like y'all got into y'all Scorpio bag recently and you ain't listening to nobody else, Scorpio. Yeah, I know that you're the star right now. You might have got the star right now, but I want to tell you this just so you know. Just because you want to step to the front doesn't necessarily mean that that's a long-term thing. However, Scorpio, the part of you that became the star that earned it, flex it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So Scorpio, for the parts that that's like, ain't nobody touching me here. Flex, like that's you. You like, I'm big body. That's me. I'm big me, right? But when it gets to like the other side of that, to where it's like, yo, you still on your way there. You knocked out a few people on your way there. You lost some people in the process, right? So this is a metamorphosis portion for you, Scorpio. But you have to learn how to step into your actual star power. Like this is like you actually becoming a celebrity, and then all the like friends around you being like, and you're like, I have to be the celebrity. Sorry, guys, right? Like, this is the kind of feeling that's kind of going on for you in that process. And if people are like, yo, you did this wrong ish, own up to it. That's one thing I think that's going to help. Like, just own up to it. Be like, yeah, my bad. Then it's like, oh, okay. Versus like, just want to let you know. Okay. So what's going on with that? Ain't nobody touching me though. Live your life, dog. All right, let's get it. I said I was going to take a break, but I think I fibbed to myself. All right, let's get to the fire signs right now, right? All right. So for fire, let's see. Let's start off with Aries. So this is going to be for Aries. Let's see what we got. Aries. There are beautiful times ahead, my friend. So Aries, I think y'all need to celebrate more of what has happened and how you have gone about things and how you have made sure that everybody else was like feeling the love as much as you can. I think you're finally taking that good cheer and camaraderie and you're like getting kind of celebrated for it. I think for like, this reminds me, Aries, like you like actually went out to like slay the dragon that was messing with town. And normally they don't care. They're just like, yeah, that's his job. But this is you actually coming back in and they're like, yo, you just did that? They're like, yeah, that's normally what I do anyway. But they're finally like, yo, oh my God, thank you so much, right? Like that's a change that I feel like is coming through right now for Aries and like soak it up a little bit, right? Like you earned it. Make sure that you like express that in the process. Don't shy away from like your success or the celebration of that. But here's the other side of this, the Justice card. So Aries, I want to point it out like this. If you have been trying to stomp on somebody's parade, the Justice card is going to be like, you're going to have to check yourself. You're going to have to step this back. If you've been trying to like actively been like, yo, screw them and their parade and their fun, and I want to mess this up, that's not going to work out in your favor. However, the Justice card on the other side is like, yo, for the people who was doing you wrong, especially when you stayed in your own lane, universe is about to start turning some stuff. And the reason why is that this isn't about like direct, what's the word? This isn't about like trying to get back at something or trying to like whatever, but it's just about you living in the right energy and then the universe rewarding the people who are in the right energy. So Aries, if you were in the right energy, you're going to be all right. You feel what I'm saying? Make sure that you take on the celebration. People are going to try to celebrate you. Let them. As much as you can, right? That's the main thing that I'm getting from that. So we're going to hop on over to Leo real quick. All right. Leo, let's see what we got for you. All right, let's give it a buck. Leo, y'all look like y'all are trying to move ahead. Y'all look like y'all are trying to move forward. Y'all look like y'all have a plan. Y'all are actively trying to do this. But here's the thing. I won't be so honest with y'all. Leo, whoever this is that you're holding a candle to or for is actually ruining your life. I'm just being honest. It's whatever you're trying to hold a candle for that you know doesn't have this like, it's not requited. It's not moving in your favor right now. It is the opposite of love. It is now like it becomes an obsession. It's not just like a ease or a love in that process at that point. Now, here's the thing. You're trying to move on from it. You're trying to move forward. You're trying to step into the next thing. But here's the thing. I'm going to be honest. This is trying to like mess with you. If you holding the candle for this, or this was an older situation and you keep trying to hop back into it, or you're just like, whatever, that's not gonna work in your favor anymore. Cut it off. Like straight up. like cut it off or just keep moving forward. But mean it when you keep moving forward. Don't just be like, oh yeah, I'm moving forward and then stay in the same thing or continue to hit them up and like everything else. You gotta keep pushing this forward. And it's not until you walk away from the toxicity, the toxica of all of that, that's you're gonna be able to thrive. I'm just being honest. That's just what's happening with that. So when you do choose to go your own way, life happens exactly the way that you've been aiming for. They are what's holding you back. I get it. So we're going into Sagittarius, right? So let's see what we got for Sag. Let's see what we get. All right, Sag. So we got the Hermit card. You don't even gotta be outside right now for real, Sag. Literally, even me, I know that I still like, look, whatever, but this is like my hermit mode. Look, so that's kind of funny that I'm pulling this, right? But then again, the Hermit card even rules Virgo. So when it comes to this, Sag, like take your time. You can step away for a second. And I think part of this is that like you're being celebrated. You're being like, oh my God, this person's so great, everything else. But it's kind of behind closed doors. This is like this is, how am I putting this? It's like you going to like a librarian that you love and they know that you love books. And they just like, they're like holding like the books for you secretly. You know, they're like, yo, like you get to the library, like, what's up? They're like, yo, I have this book for you, bro. They was trying to take it, but I slid it over to the side for you. It's like, oh, good luck, appreciate you. And then you take the book, and then it's like, oh, it's everything that you might have needed. It's everything you were trying to intuit. I'm giving this as a example because this one idea, Sag, is like you don't gotta, you can just be in. You're gonna get in your Virgo mode a little bit more, Sag. Like this isn't the we outside new moon, so to speak. This is the like we going inside, we're going inward. Let's get to this deeper part of things. I think for Sag is going to be a really big spiritual revelation over the next couple of days to really show you the way that you navigate your path in a way that's different from everyone else's. So I hope that gives some context. And if you're a Sag, you know what I'm saying somehow, because I'm also a Sag, so you get it. Okay. All right. So here is the last group. We're gonna go through the air signs, and then I'm gonna dip out, and y'all gonna order a mini reading, and I'm gonna pull for y'all tomorrow. So pull up, you know. The faster you get it, the faster you get it back. Well, all I gotta say. All right, so for my airheads that I love very dearly, start with Gemini. Gemini, you going full airhead, dog. Gemini, you about to lose your mind. I ain't gonna lie. I feel like with Gemini, y'all been dealing with this Pisces stuff too, just like Virgo, just like Sag, just like even Pisces is dealing with it, right? But the idea when it gets to this portion is that like you're starting off into this new era where you just get to like be in your presence. So Gemini, this isn't about you trying to prove how smart you are no more. It's not about you trying to prove your intelligence. It's not about you being able to talk around people in a room. What it is about though, is that what it's about is making sure that you move forward in your dedication to abundance. And moving forward in your dedication to abundance, that looks like you maybe beautifying your routine. Maybe you spend a little extra time washing your face in the mirror, putting on your makeup. Maybe you spend some time over at the thrift shop finding things that you ain't ever know. You about to like level yourself up in some like steez and some fashion type of vibe. But that's something to keep in mind, Gemini. I think y'all are stepping into a new era where you're like really designing your world to allow you to have a feeling of ease. I don't think you're stepping away from your anxiousness to like be the smartest in the room, and you're stepping into your knowingness that like no matter how you go or no matter how you choose what you do, that's a change in that process, right? Okay. So for Libra, let's see what we got here, right? For Libra, we have the Eight of Wands, Libra. There's a lot of change happening, and I want to put this out to you too. Y'all have no idea the important people that are watching you navigate the world the way that you are right now. And I'm saying this because in that process, your stock's going up. There's a lot of change that's coming through for you right now in terms of like your work, your life, whatever you want to make a change about, you can make a change about pretty quickly. And the idea behind that is that you just need to set the seed forward for it. So because this specific new moon in Virgo, Libra, is like having you start to formulate those changes, you do have to remember to balance out both sides as much as you can. I know y'all hate that term, but that is part of the process, that some part of you has to go full in and part of you has to like remain the same. And then when you find that perfect middle ground, that's when the real transformation starts to happen. With that being said, keep in mind, maybe keep in mind that like this is either somebody who's trying to watch you and be like, oh, I'm watching them shine, I'm trying to like see what's going on, or maybe that's you watching them. So maybe you're like looking at them, and next thing you know, you're like, I want to be a part of this, and then you just instantly get hired. You get what I'm saying? This is the kind of vibe that can come through for you, Libra, right now. So use the magic of your charm to the best of his ability, because the things that are shifting are probably going to make you a lot of money or get you deeper into love. So the more you know. And last but certainly not least, going to be Aquarius. And then I got to go. Your boys feeling a little off, but wanted to make sure to do this for y'all. Aquarius. So we have the 10 of Pentacles, right? So Aquarius, y'all have been sitting here waiting for a miracle for quite some time. You've been like literally waiting, just like, yo, when is this pulling through? When is this change going to happen? When are all the things that people try to promise me actually going to pull up? This is when it starts to. So let this new moon in Virgo, Aquarius, let you start to get into this actual abundance mindset, because where you might have had to piece together a lot of things in your world before that didn't make sense to nobody else, now you're just like, yo, I'm the one who puts all this together. And people are like, oh shoot, that is valuable. Like, we don't have to hire all these type of people. We can just hire them for what they're worth, pay them what they're worth, and they do all these things for us. So Aquarius, this is kind of like the best way to put it. So I feel like your ability to invent and to kind of fill up different spaces, or to be the plug in a lot of cases where maybe people don't know how to think outside the box, you're going to be really getting into a different level of stock, so to speak. I do see a lot more money coming in, abundance coming in. Maybe this is a new job. Maybe this is like a new partnership that ends up pulling through. But Aquarius, this is an abundant time for you coming up in terms of this new moon in Virgo. And I think what's happening is that you're trying to get prepped for this eclipse season in that process. But yeah, that right there has been our new moon in Virgo live stream. Thank you all for showing up. Thank you all for showing love. I hope that the signs ended up resonating for you in that process. I hope that y'all got some clarity from that. Again, for anybody who does want to get a mini reading afterward, they are open until September 2nd. If you try to send this after September 2nd, I will not be pulling. I'll be taking it down by then beforehand anyway. But this is the mini reading queue. I will be doing those on Monday. So if you don't have it to me before Monday, I can't give you your specific reading. And I'm going to be, again, just focused on your stuff. So all the other extra stuff that I did this time is separate. You get to watch that on your own time as well. If you want to watch it again afterward to then see your big three, that's going to be a great thing as well. But aside from all that, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being here. Thank you for listening to my stories. Thank you for taking the time out of your day, taking the time out of your Saturday if you're watching this live. Appreciate each and every one of you, and can't wait to see y'all in a reading soon, because that's what I do. So let me make sure I get the best gift that I can give to somebody and come through and get a reading. I got you on that. We're going to have a good time. But outside of that, much love to y'all. Stay up, stay blessed, stay beautiful. And okay, bye. Peace out, y'all. Much love.